What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another Dragon Traveler video. As you guys can see, the patch is in finally for the game. We do have the background being able to be switched here, so you could choose your favorite backgrounds that you've gotten and finally use it in the lobby screen. And this is a great addition. Now I don't have to watch my main character farming those AFK mobs, but that's not the point of the video. We did have a big patch, right, talking about it in my previous videos. Even with this new PvE content coming out. But today what we're going to talk about is the featured banner. So initially, from how they worded it, I thought it would be a single banner and maybe you would be able to choose one of the characters on it, or it would be a random pool. But you're going to see that we have 4 separate banners for a week. And it's going to be the characters that were mentioned. We have Ifrit, we have Marilis, we have Gabriel, and we also have Helveil. Now, I'm going to tell you guys what I personally want to recommend to you guys in terms of what banners or characters to summon for. And also even one of the banners which I would say you most likely want to avoid unless you're spending a lot on the game. Because, well, when we get there, it'll make a lot of sense. But before we do that, I want to show you guys this mileage system. So basically for every banner, there's going to be 10 summons for 10 of this currency. And I do believe it doesn't share. Let's actually see. It does share. Okay, so if you split the summons, it will actually share and it goes into the same mileage, which is pretty cool. And these points, which you actually generate, will be used for these Star of Joys. It's like 1-to-1 at every 10th. And for every 10 summons you do, basically you have a chance to roll for some stuff, right? Including the horns, the elixirs, which is the current event going on, which I'm definitely going to actually do this time because I have enough points saved up. And at the top, you can choose between golden clovers, which you can use in the Golden Leaf store, and also the renewal coins, which you can actually use in the skin store to get skins or outfits, which is pretty cool, right? You're going to see if I go to the skins here, we have Gabriel and also Helveil. The skin Emporium will require 60 of these. So essentially, if you want to go for the skin, you are going to have to hit this 4 times. And if I click details here, you'll see, I think you can see this. Yeah, you can. The rates are currently here. So it's a very low chance, but of course you can get some other stuff like reforging for your gear. You can also get divine shards for destinies and a lot of other stuff, which is pretty useful. Not all of them are useful, honestly, but if you want to go for the skins, at that very low chance, you can. And this is a currency, right? So you'll keep this, and I believe you'll be able to use it in future stores, right? When this releases. But the Helveil skin definitely looks pretty cool, and it's a big reason why I kind of want to go for it. But enough of that. Let's actually talk about the banners now. So I'm going to personally summon on these banners in a separate video and probably show you guys what happens. But out of the 4 banners, I think the one that most people are eyeing right now is Helveil. And the reason why is because she's a part of the Otherworldly faction, and we are expected to get Jing in the next or the banner after for this game. And Jing is going to be extremely good for the Otherworldly team, in fact required, and also Helveil is going to be one of the required units because she's going to be that tank, right? Also on top of this, we had banners for Ifrit, for Marilis, right? We also had one for Gabriel. Helveil's the only character out of the 4 that we've never had a banner for. However, I will say, it's not really worth going for her on this banner if you guys are not spending a lot, like I said, because she's the only character out of the 4 which you can actually wishlist right now, right? You can see Ifrit's not here, Marilis is not here, and also Gabriel's not here. But if I click Otherworldly, you'll see it's actually on my wishlist right now in the 2nd slot. You can see Helveil is selectable. So if you're spamming the normal summons, right? If you for example, have that permanent, summon pack where you get these summons every day, you'll keep getting copies of her eventually, and it's so, it makes it so that you don't really need to go for the banner, to be honest. Unless you really want to play Jing right away in that Otherworldly comp, then maybe you want to consider it. But another consideration is, during the guild auctions, you can buy copies of SSR pluses for like 4,800 if you minimum bid, if you get very lucky. Or if you're even allowed to do it at that time, because guild auction, the time restraints are pretty crazy, right? Which I'll talk about in a separate video. But what I'm trying to say is, yeah, you can get it from the wish list, and guild auction has her, so it's not really going to be a super high priority. Now the other 3, these characters are probably better to go for because they're not on the wish list, so if you miss them now, you'll have to wait for a rerun. I would say go for at least 1 copy of each if you can. I think most people have Ifrit. Marilis is pretty good at one copy for Trial of Fire, and also Gabriel's really good in Trial of Fire as well, especially when the light teams are very good, like the last rotation, or if you have like Athena, and also if you have Apollo. If you have Gabriel with them in Trial of Fire, you can pretty much beat everything. So this character is also good to go for one copy for. Now in terms of like going hard for, if you guys couldn't get your Ifrit to red 1-star, that's what I would recommend. And for me personally, I have my Ifrit at 6 stars right now, but I'm currently missing 3 copies to get it to that diamond. Now, I actually do have a lot of slimes saved up, so if I actually go to my star upgrade and go to my Ifrit dupe here, the 1 dupe, you can see I do have 4 golden slimes. I'm kind of hoarding these right now. I really need to spend them. I probably will in a future banner, or maybe even the Jing banner. But yeah, if you want to get to Diamond Star because you are a mid to late game player, and you want more like damage, then it's good to go for it, because getting this cooldown reduction when you trigger Flame Brand on your overdrive is pretty strong, especially in PvE for bosses. So for me personally, I think I'm going to go for 3 copies of Ifrit. I actually don't have Marilis, so I will go for 1 copy, and then Gabriel, I already have a copy, but I think after Ifrit, out of the 3 characters that you want to go for, I think Gabriel is insane, right? Gabriel is super strong for the light teams. If you're playing the light team, she's really good to go for. Marilis as a character, I wouldn't say she's like the best character to go for. Like I said, if you want 1 copy for Trial of Fire and stuff like that, yes, you can. But she's not going to be like the best in slot in either of the factions that she's used for. Now, of course, you can find use for her because she does have this like bruiser playstyle where she can, you know, just leech HP and do a pretty decent amount of AoE damage. But the thing is, there's other characters that I think most people are slotting into both the Arcane and the Wild team. So for me personally, I don't really recommend going for her, but if you want to go for her, yes, you can. And she's not a bad character by any means. It's just that the Arcane faction is pretty stacked with a lot of characters, and there's just not a lot of room. So that's why I personally would not recommend her. And then of course with Gabriel, if you're playing that Arcane team, she is pretty much a must-have. She is absolutely busted in the Arcane team. In fact, I think she's one of the characters that you definitely want to have. For the Otherworldly team, which is her secondary faction, it doesn't really matter too much if you have her. She doesn't synergize that well with those characters. But for that light team, if you want to play it with like Apollo and also Athena, which they actually did buff, I think, the base copies of them, so they're weaker, not weaker, they're stronger at the lower star grade, so you don't have to get as many dupes of them. Gabriel definitely became like a better option. I think they strategically buffed them too, to kind of get people to go for Gabriel. So I think most people are probably going to finish out their Ifrit or, you know, start building up their Gabriel. Or if you're a spender and you want to start preparing for that otherworldly team, well, you can go for Helveil, right? She is going to be extremely good in that team comp, especially with characters such as Azure Dragon and also Jing, right? So if you want to play that Rebirth team, which is what I'm planning to go for, then this is a banner you might want to summon on. And for me personally, even though I know it's not worth it to go on this banner because she's in the wish list, I think I'm going to go for some copies because I do want to try to go for the skin, right? Like, if you guys didn't know, I'm kind of playing for the skins, and this skin looks absolutely crazy. I really hope they, you know, keep up the skin quality, because I think for a lot of the casual players, like the non-super whale hardcore players, I think it's a pretty big part of the game. 2 big things about this game, I guess. But, you know, if you guys know what I mean. But yeah, let me know down below what characters you're going for from this banner. I know I kind of talked about it, not too in-depth, right? But for the most part, just to summarize, if it's a bit confusing, finish out your Ifrit, get her to red 1-star. If you already have her at red 1-star or higher, if you want to get her to diamond, it's really up to you, but it's not required. Marilis, I think, is a character that it's just a 1 copier. You don't really need her, to be honest. Gabriel's very good for the light teams, pretty much required to make that work for the most part. Of course, you don't have to have her, but she's insanely strong, especially for PvP. And then Helveil is available from the wish list, so not really a good choice of investment if you aren't spending a lot. But if you guys are and you want to start preparing for that otherworldly team and you don't have a lot of copies of her like myself, I think I only have 1 copy total, then it might be a good option for you. So thank you for watching, guys. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe. If you guys are new to the channel or new to Dragon Traveler, check out my link down below to get started, and I'll see you guys next video.